सतगुर नानक परगटया, मिटी धुंध जग चानन होआ।
Following the path of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. This e-book is inspired by two noble souls who were great followers on the path of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Shri Pritam Das Ji Nagpal and Gyani Avatar Singh Ji Sachdev. Preface. Guru Nanak Dev Ji, the great mystic and a saint, appeared on the earth about 550 years ago as a whiff of a refreshingly new spiritual order. He challenged the prevalent social hierarchy and denounced the caste system and the lowly status of women as attempts by the mankind to disfigure the oneness created by the Almighty. He debunked the hollow rituals and superstitions and prescribed a moral life built on the lofty ideals of gratitude to the Supreme Lord, service of the fellow human beings with extreme humility and an honest livelihood. In the present times, when the spiritual evolution of the mankind suffers from serious ethical deficit, Guru Nanak Dev Ji's preaching offers the requisite moral compass. This e-book, in its 3 sections, is a humble attempt to provide the viewers an interface with Guru Nanak Dev Ji's message. 3 sections. Section 1, Introduction to the Path. We traverse through the Guru Nanak Dev Ji's message and profile before moving along with him on the divine path. Section 2, Art of Truthful Life. Trekking on the path of truthful life, one needs to avoid serious pitfalls which take men away from the Gursikhi way of life. The best way of inculcating the message of Guru Nanak Dev Ji is in imbibing it in one's everyday life. The section concludes with singing his glories as a sure way of truthful life. Section 3, Universal Brotherhood. Universal Brotherhood is the hallmark of Guru Nanak Dev Ji's message, so much relevant in today's world torn with strife. This section broadly talks about identifying issues and offering possible solutions, and the 10 commandments which are imperative for directing humanity on his divine path. Section 1, Introduction to the Path. Introduction, his message. Guru Nanak Dev Ji, a brief profile, my guide, my companion. Persons and nations chase different objectives and dreams all their lives. Wavering in pursuit, the choice could be shifting between health and happiness, power and glory, peace and prosperity, sharing and caring, something else, or everything combined. The path of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, on the other hand, speaks of eternal values that could guide both individuals and rulers. Guru Nanak Dev Ji spoke about the Almighty, the Vaheguru, who created this magnificent universe and is himself present in all its creations. The universe is so vast that it baffles and perplexes human comprehension and imagination. This e-book is a broad reflection on Guru Nanak Dev Ji's major teachings. Vaheguru is one and is all pervasive. All human beings are equal and they coexist with compassion and dignity, accepting Vaheguru's will. A human being's cherished destiny is to be one with the Vaheguru. Guru Nanak Dev Ji made a major contribution to the cause of humanity by bringing every person to the same platform of equality and brotherhood. Everyone was sought to be projected as progeny of same God, deserving same dignity. His message, honest livelihood, is the essence of a true religion. The whole universe is the creation of the same God. Humanity and environment, plants and animals, all deserve the same regard and conservation. Human beings not to be discriminated on the basis of religion and race, caste and creed, gender, material possession, or knowledge. Be compassionate. Share your resources with those in need. We possess everything as Vaheguru's trustees. Be thankful. Always be thankful and revering in His glory. Gratitude towards the Almighty is the biggest tribute to Him. Service to humanity and servitude to Lord should be considered as supreme objectives of life. Never be misled by these 5 vices: ego, greed, lust, anger, attachments. Full mantra, Vaheguru's true nature. Ek Omkar, there is one God. Satnam Karta Purukh, truth is His name, He is the Creator. Nirpau, Nirvair, He is without fear, He is without hate. Akal Murut, He is timeless and without form. Ajuni Sahib Bhang, He is beyond birth and death. Gur Prasad, He can be known as the Guru's grace. Jap, meditate on the name. Aaj Sach, He was true before the creation. Jugad Sach, He was true when ages commenced. Happy Sach, He is true now. Nanak Hosi be Sach, He will always be true. Three pillars of Sikhi. Naam Japo, keep God in mind at all times. Kirt karo, earn an honest living. One chako, share one's earnings with others. Guru Nanak Dev Ji, a brief profile. Guru Nanak Dev Ji was born on April 15, 1469 at Rai Bhoi di Talwandi, now called Nankana Sahib, a place about 65 km from Lahore. Right from his birth, it was clear that Guru Nanak Dev Ji was not an ordinary child. His family included father Mehta Kalu, mother Tripta Devi and sister Nanki, 5 years his senior. A maid servant named Daulata Bai stood by the side of Mata Tripta at the time of Guru Nanak Dev Ji's birth. As per her account, Guru Nanak did not cry like other babies at birth, but laughed merrily, and the place got illuminated suddenly as if there was moonlight. As per Pandit Hardayal, the family priest, the child was a great soul. He was professed to be great saint, with his fame reaching worldwide. Men would cross the worldly sea peacefully at his sight. वारा पाए गुरदास सुनी पुकार दतार प्रभ गुरु नानक जगमाए बिठाया चरण तोए रास कर चरना अमृत सिखा पिलाया पार ब्रह्म पूर्ण ब्रह्म ਕਲਯੁਗ ਅੰਦਰ ਇੱਕ ਦਿਖਾਇਆ, ਚਾਰੇ ਪੈਰ ਧਰਮ ਦੇ ਚਾਰ ਵਰਨ ਇੱਕ ਵਰਨ ਕਰਾਇਆ, ਰਾਣਾ ਰੰਗ ਬਰਾਬਰੀ ਪੈਰੀ ਪਉਣਾ ਜਗ ਵਰਤਾਇਆ, ਉਲਟਾ ਖੇਲ ਪਿਰਮ ਦਾ ਪੈਰਾ ਉੱਪਰ ਸੀਸ ਨਵਾਇਆ, ਕਲਯੁਗ ਬਾਬੇ ਤਾਰਿਆ ਸਤਨਾਮ ਪੜ ਮੰਤਰ ਸੁਣਾਇਆ, ਕਲ ਤਾਰਨ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਆਇਆ। Bhai Gurdas had written the following verse as a tribute to Babaji. The benefactor Lord listened to the cries of humanity and sent Guru Nanak to this world. He washed his feet, he eulogized God, and got his disciples drink the ambrosia of his feet. He preached in this dark age, Kalyug, that Sargam, Brahm and Nirgun Parbrahm are the same and identical. Dharma was now established on its 4 feet, and all the 4 castes, through fraternal feeling, were converted into one caste of humanity. Equating the poor with the prince, he spread the etiquette of humbly touching the feet. In verse is the game of the beloved. He got the egotist high heads bowed to feet. Guru Nanak rescued this dark age, Kalyug, and recited Satnam hymn for one and all. Guru Nanak came to redeem the Kalyug. Two persons who recognized the spiritual eminence of Guru Nanak Dev Ji early in his childhood were Nanki, his sister, and Rai Bular, the head of Talwandi, who once saw a cobra spreading its hood over young Nanak to save him from the sun. Guru Nanak Dev Ji spent his life practicing and preaching about one Almighty, human equality and right conduct in life. He undertook long journeys called Udasis across the globe, conveying the same message to everyone, from kings to ordinary people, saints to sinners, rich as well as poor. Sacha Sauda. Guru Nanak Dev Ji's father, Mehta Kalu, tried hard to make Guru Nanak take up the responsibility for a decent livelihood so that he could raise a family as he grew older. He once gave him 20 rupees, a sizable amount in those days, to invest in a profitable business. Sacha Sauda. Guru Nanak spent that money on feeding hungry hermits, which, as per him, was indeed the most profitable deal. Guruji commences his life's mission. Guru Nanak Dev Ji started his life's spiritual mission in 1499 on a call from Almighty. By that time he was aged 30 years, married, blessed with 2 sons, working and staying in Sultanpur. Apart from working conscientiously, he led a posh life. Once he went for a bath in the river Kali Bai and disappeared into its water, only to reappear 3 days later as an enlightened Guru. His first message was, "There is no Hindu, there is no Musliman. There is no Hindu, there is no Musliman. The same Almighty has created everyone, including Hindus and Muslims. Being children of this same God, they should be living like brothers in harmony rather than hating each other." Saki by Lalo and Malik Pago. His second message to humanity, given at Sayadpur, was equally significant. One must earn a fair and just livelihood and share one's resources with others. Guru Nanak Dev Ji employed the approach of an overreach to people through his journeys on foot called Udasis. These Udasis were aimed at spreading the real message of God. Bhai Mardana, his companion, accompanied him all through. Guru Nanak Dev Ji believed to have travelled over 28,000 kilometers in 5 major tours. He saw hypocrisy, fanaticism, superstitions and falsehood in the world and set out on a mission in the year 1499 to spread his message of peace, compassion and righteousness in near and far-flung areas from his native place. Nanak Dev Ji travelled extensively. Five journeys, Udasis of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. First Udasi 1500 to 1506 AD covered the whole of East India including Assam, etc. He was aged 31 to 36 years. Second Udasi 1506 to 13 AD covered the whole of South India and Sri Lanka. Third Udasi 1514 to 18 AD went to Kashmir, Tashkent, China, Tibet, Sikkim and Nepal. Fourth Udasi 1519 to 21 AD went to Makkah, Medina, Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan and many other Arab countries. Fifth Udasi 1523 to 24 AD. While whole of Punjab, including the area lying in Pakistan presently. In total, Guru Nanak Dev Ji spent about 24 years in these Udasis. Guru Nanak Dev Ji exchanged views through free-flowing discussions. His preaching principally covered all the sections of the society that he got in touch with, rich and mighty, poor and needy, and also the great sages. His message was pivoted on values like truth, equality, integrity, and about futility of greed, ego, and meaningless rituals and practices. Guru Nanak Dev Ji came to the town of Kartarpur, presently in Pakistan, sometime around 1522 AD, before the onset of his fifth Udasi. It is believed that the administrator of that place offered Guru Nanak Dev Ji a piece of land. The administrator later became Guru Nanak Dev Ji's disciple. Guru Nanak Dev Ji started living at Kartarpur with his parents, wife Mata Sulakhani and two sons Sri Chand and Lakshmi Chand, thus demonstrating that he preferred the life of a householder to that of an ascetic. Kartarpur, Guru Nanak Dev Ji's Karma Bhumi. Guru Nanak Dev Ji and his followers set up a Dharmsal at Kartarpur. Dharmsal was to be a place where dharma or true merit is earned. He and his followers would sing his composition in the morning and evening. Through the day, the whole community Sangat shall work hard in farms or doing other chores. It was at Kartarpur that Guru Nanak Dev Ji practiced what he preached. Kirt karo, work hard for an honest living. One chako, share the nature's bounty, the community kitchen called Langar, and Naam Japo, meditate and worship the Almighty. Besides establishing Kirtan as a routine at Kartarpur, Guru Nanak Dev Ji introduced the concept of Katha, which was description of Guru Nanak Dev Ji's compositions and thoughts on other matters. Through the above routine, Guru Nanak Dev Ji established the distinctive feature of Sikh identity, service before self. Guru Nanak Dev Ji became so popular across the communities because of his divine look, humility, and words of wisdom that he was famously referred to as Nanak Shah Fakir, Hindu ka Guru, Musalman ka Peer. Guru Nanak Dev Ji met Bhai Lehna at Kartarpur and appointed him as his successor with a new name, Guru Angad. Guru Nanak Dev Ji left the mortal world in September 1539, leaving behind a massive legacy built on humanity, universal brotherhood, and a classless society. Guru Nanak Dev Ji, my guide, my companion, a guide for Gursikhi Jivan. The best way to follow the path of Guru Nanak Dev Ji would be to live like him. One needs to emulate him by imbibing his qualities of limitless love, compassion for the fellow beings, and total submission to the will of the Vaheguru. Guru Nanak Dev Ji was the living example of practicing what he preached all through his life. Such was the aura he was born with that anyone who got in touch with him found himself reformed and truly blessed. Bhai Gurudas, the great scholar and the scribe of the Guru Granth Sahib, paid his tributes to Guru Nanak thus. Reference Amrit Kirtan 241. With the emergence of true Guru Nanak, the mist got cleared and the light of his magnificence reigned all over. As if with the sun rising in all its glory, the stars disappear and the darkness dissipates. Wherever Guru Nanak puts his feet, a religious place gets erected on its own. The singing of his glory has turned each home into a place of dharma. Guru Nanak liberated all four directions and 9 divisions of the Mother Earth. His appearance signifies a Gurmukh rising up to eradicate the evils of the dark ages of Kali Yuga. सतगुरु नानक प्रगट्या मिट्टी तुंद जग चानण हुआ जो कर सूरज निकलिया तारे छपे अंधोर पलोआ सिंह बुके मिर्गावली बनी जाए न तीर त्रोआ जिते बाबा पैर तरे पूजा आसन थापड़ सोआ सिद्ध आसन सब जगत रे नानक आद मते जे खोआ कर कर अंदर धर्मसाल होवे कीर्तन सदा विसोआ बाबे तारे चार चक नौकड़ पृथ्वी सच्चा टोआ गुरमुख कल विच प्रगट हुआ. Guru Nanak Dev Ji's heart is filled with compassion as he accepts Vaheguru's will joyfully and keeps on singing his glories. Whenever he reprimands anyone, he does so to put an errant on the right path. Guru Nanak Dev Ji spoke about one supreme power, the Almighty Lord we call Vaheguru. Japji Sahib, the daily prayer with ocean deep meaning and a key constituent of Guru Granth Sahib, was proposed as the path to reach the Almighty Lord. Guru Nanak Dev Ji preached 3 principles for a fulfilling and meaningful life: Kirt Karna, earning an honest living; Van Chakna, sharing one's resources; and Naam Japna, meditate over his name and dedicate all the actions to him. He believed in seeking the divine path while living like a responsible householder. He professed that for the union with the Almighty Lord, one does not need to leave his house, but needs to give up 5 evils: kama, lust, krodh, anger, lobh, greed, moh, attachment, and ahankar, arrogance. The legacy of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Truth is the highest virtue, truthful living is one notch higher. For the dignified place of woman, Guru Nanak Dev Ji said, "Why berate someone who gave birth to the emperors?" Guru Nanak Dev Ji introduced the traditions of Sangat, religious congregations, and Pangat, community kitchen. The path to realize the Almighty Lord. Guru Nanak Dev Ji explains the key to realize Vaheguru in the beginning of Japji Sahib thus: He can't be comprehended even by thinking about Him hundreds of thousands of times. Even while remaining silent and being lovingly absorbed deep within, the inner silence is difficult to attain. The hunger of the hungry remains unsatiated even in the midst of loads of worldly goods. One may try hundreds of thousands of clever tricks, but not even one of them will go along in the end. So how can one become truthful, and how can the veil of illusion be removed? O Nanak, you shall obey the will, hukam of His command, and walk the path as per His will. O Nanak, by His command, bodies are created. His command is beyond description. By His command, souls come into being. By His command, glory and greatness are obtained. Some are born high and others low, and by His command, pain and pleasure follow. Some by His command are blessed and forgiven, others by His command wander aimlessly forever. Everyone is subject to His command, no one is beyond His command. O Nanak, one who understands His command gets free from ego in all that he speaks. सोचे सोच न होई जे सोची लखवार, चुप्पे चुप न होई जे लाए रहा लिफ्तार, भुखियां भुख न उतरी जे बन्ना पुरियां पार, सह सियाणपा लप होए त इक न चले नाल, किव सचारा होइए किव कूड़े टुटे पाल, हुक्म रजाई चलना नानक लिखिया नाल। हुक्मी होन आकार हुक्म न कहा जाई, हुक्मी होन जी हुक्म मिले वड्याई, हुक्मी उत्तम नीच हुक्म लिख दुख सुख पाइए, एक ना हुक्मी बख्शीस एक हुक्मी सदा बुआइए, हुक्मे अंदर सबको बार हुक्म न कोए, नानक हुक्म जे बजे कहो में कहे न कोए। Human equality. All are equal in the eyes of the Almighty Lord. A person's religion, gender, age, belief, financial status, ability or accomplishment do not matter. The path leading to the Almighty Lord is open to all. The only way one reaches Him is by accepting His will. What matters the most is the purity of a person's thoughts and deeds. Unflinching faith in the Vaheguru and noble deeds lead to universal welfare and true servitude to the Almighty Lord. All of man's honor, wealth, accomplishments, and creativity are bestowed by Him. They are His gifts to us. Not even a man's body, his looks, or his intellect belongs to Him. Does that leave any margin for Him to be boastful or carry false attachment to them? All such endowments bestowed by Almighty Lord, the wealth, the fame, the knowledge, and the skills, are best used by serving the society or by putting oneself on His path. This way, we can qualify as having paid our best tributes to Him. Guru Nanak Dev Ji's philosophy is best followed by living a Sikhi way of life. Sikhi way of life stands on the three pillars of honest livelihood, sharing one's resources, and meditating over His name, Kit Karna, Man Chakna, and Naam Japna. Guru Nanak Dev Ji also prescribed the following discipline for a steadfast life on the divine path. Use early morning hours to pray, Amrit Vela Nitnem, singing hymns in His praise, Kirtan, always keeping an optimistic outlook, Chardi Kala, following universal welfare, Sarbat da Pala, as the guiding principle. Anyone who follows the Sikh philosophy and the way of life prescribed by Guru Nanak Dev Ji attains a stage called Sahaj Avastha. Ninth Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib has explained the Sahaj Avastha very eloquently. Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib says, Guru Granth Sahib 633-34 pages. The one who in midst of everyday sufferings does not feel pain, who is not affected by pleasure, affection or fear, and treats both gold and dust alike. He is not swayed by either slander or praise, nor affected by greed, attachment or pride, and who remains unaffected by joys and sorrow, honor and dishonor. Who renounces all desires and attachments and remains desireless in the world, who is not affected by lust or anger, within whose heart God dwells. That man, blessed by Guru's grace, truly understands this path. O Nanak, he merges with the Almighty Lord like water with water. Sorat Malla Nova. जो नर दुख में दुख नहीं माने, सुख स्नेह और पैने जाके कंचन माटी माने राहो। न निंद्या न उस्तत जाके लोभ मोह अभिमाना, हर सोखते रहे न्यारो ना है मान अपमाना। आशा मनसा सकल त्यागी जगते रहे निराशा, काम तो जे परसे नाहिन ते गढ़ ब्रह्म निवासा। गुर कृपा जे नरको कीनी ते ए जुगत पछानी, नानक लीन बियो गोबन से जो पानी संग पानी। Guru Nanak Dev Ji's message and philosophy are too deep and profound to be expressed in a few slides. It shall need an in-depth study of all his writings. Guru Nanak Dev Ji's major composition include Japji Sahib, Siddh Gosht, Dialogue with Siddhs, the Hindu Ascetics, the Sohila Sahib, Dakhni Onkar, Guru Nanak Dev Ji Divine Utterances in the South, Asa Di War, Patti Likhi, the Bara Maha. Together with all the above, Guru Nanak Dev Ji contributed 974 hymns, Shabads in 19 Dagas in Guru Granth Sahib. The core purpose of section first is to ignite the urge among the viewers to delve deeper into Guru Nanak Dev Ji's various works. Acknowledgements. The making of the section 1 of the e-book titled Following the Path of Guru Nanak Dev Ji was a team effort accomplished with the blessings of the Almighty. Section 2 and 3 shall also follow soon. The idea for the e-book was conceived by Manmeet Singh, who has been my constant guide in its preparation. SP Singh has helped immensely in the developing the contents and the design for the e-book. I remain deeply indebted to both of them.
बाबे तारे चारे जग नौखंड पृथ्वी सच्चा टोआ, गुरमुख कल विच परगट होआ, गुरमुख कल विच परगट होआ, मिटी धुंध जग चानण होआ।
सतगुरु नानक परगटया, मिटी धुंध जग चानण होआ, ज्यों कर सूरज निकलया, तारे छपे अंधेर पलोआ,
तारे छपे अंधेर पलोआ। सतगुरु नानक परगटया।